All right, guys, we're back with another episode. I don't know what episode number this is, but we're grinding. My name is Esteban. If you don't know me, I'm a coach and mentor. I help producers reach out to artists and turn them into clients. Today, I'm with a producer named Diemond Deryk. Introduce yourself, tell them where you're from, and give a little bit of background.
Hey, what's going on? Diemond Deryk. I am from San Antonio, Texas. Just been producing since 2004, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just grinding, just
I
selling
hear that.
beats and getting placements and stuff like that. Putting out beat
Nice.
tapes as well. It's a big part of my journey.
Okay, well then let's start there with the journey. As far as beat tapes, because you say you started in 2004. When did that like come into play for you?
So in 2004, I actually started off rapping. So I was rapping
Okay.
and uh I was rapping over other instrumentals, famous instrumentals, and then I wanted to put out my own projects with my crew that I was with back in the day, and yeah, so I started making beats out of necessity, and then once I started making beats, I just realized like this is where my heart belongs. I really fell in love with the production side of things, and even though I kept up with rapping at that time, I was just finding my way around, making beats, trying out different programs and stuff, and then just eventually just stopped rapping altogether and just focused on, setting a nice plate for other artists to eat off of, and it's just been, beats ever since.
So when you go from like rapper to producer full time, how do you turn, or how are you finding people to hop on your beats? Was it just from your network, 'cause since you were a rapper, or were you reaching out like on your own? How did that work?
So initially, when I was rapping and making beats, I was also engineering too at the time. I forget but that was like a very short-lived thing. Found out it's not really what I like to do, but um, so when artists would come over to the studio and record, I'd also, upsell, beats as well. And so it was a lot of word of mouth. That was back in my hometown in Laredo, Texas. Um, then fast forward years later, I moved up to San Antonio, which that's where I'm at now, and I don't know anybody. I had already been like on a hiatus for a few years. Um, I was still making stuff, but I wasn't putting anything out. So the way I got the word out again was really just posting up on all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok as well. Just casting my net out as wide as possible. Um, I wasn't really cold DMing people. Um, just honestly, just putting out videos of my beats myself. That was using the platforms as an ad, I guess, per se.
No,
And
yeah,
that's
I
how I was
agree.
able to get consistent clients.
I agree. I like the way that you placed it as like an ad. And you did mention something, you said upsell, so I want to touch more on that. I don't know if you have a sales background, but was there like a specific strategy, like in terms of like, did you go in just like releasing stuff, like no strategy behind the content, or did you create a little strategy or come up with something, or did it all work out naturally for you?
Um, I was just at first when I came back like in 2020. That's COVID shutdowns and all that stuff. Uh, that's when I got fired from or let go from my diesel tech job, and I thought it was essential, right? But it was at that point that I was like, I'm never gonna give anyone that kind of power over me again. So that's when I like fully locked into the music stuff, and I did not have a strategy at all. It was just like, let me just start putting stuff out. I didn't have a strategy at all. The videos I was putting out back in the day were so horrible, but it was my first time really like putting out content, I guess. But I just got better over the years, of putting out videos with the beats and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I really didn't have a strategy. I was just like, hey, you know what? If someone finds it and they like it, well, maybe they'll buy it,
Mm.
and that's just kind of been working for me.
If I had a dollar for every like producer I spoke to that mentioned COVID and how it make them like force them to go to like this shift to do it full time, so I find that so funny. So here we go, or again, 2020 has probably like changed so many people's lives for the best and for the worst. But I've noticed with producers is like it's definitely 100% pushed them to the edge. So, I mean, I think, no exaggeration, sometimes the best strategy is just doing it. And then you just figure out the rest. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have that much time on your hands. And I love when you when you mentioned just like not giving somebody that power, because I'm the same exact way. Like, I'm an entrepreneur too. And like, I just don't like working for people. So then talk about the journey. Like, was it a fast start, slow start? Did you make money in your first 30 days? And like, how did it accumulate over time?
Um, it was a lot of education because well, before I jumped back on, everything was organic, word of mouth, and I was in my hometown. It was comfortable there. People knew me for that. But I moved over here to San Antonio. Nobody knows who I am. I also was just getting familiar with BeatStars, so I did a lot of like research on that, and yeah, just I just jumped in and just I don't know. I was just like, you know what, whatever sticks. I didn't really give it any thought. So my first 30 days on BeatStars, I actually made one sale, and I had just started a new job. I had no money I had no money to my name, and I was on my way to the new job, working like one of my first shifts there. I had no money on me, and I wasn't even sure how I was gonna eat that day. But I was just, sitting at the stoplight, and then I got a notification, "Ma'am, you made a sale." I'm like, "Oh my God, what?" That's when I knew. I was like, "All right, this is for real." So I was so motivated, and ever since then, it was just been, pedal to the metal, just uploading as much as I can, making as many beats as I can. You know, and then just from there, everything just like snowballed. Just started showing up more on people's feeds and in their search results on YouTube, BeatStars, on IG, and just I just trusted myself, and yeah, the money started coming in, and it's been pretty good. I've been blessed.
Nothing's better than like receiving a notification and it's about money and it's like it feels like you made it out of thin air. Then like I don't know, your concept of money changes. Like if kind of feel like money doesn't exist when you can make it that way. But I
It
mean,
definitely does.
and also like I think the moment that it happened was pivotal. Like it needed to happen at that moment when you didn't have it and then you received it. Because I almost feel like that was more of like a sign than it was more about the money. You know.
Yeah.
So, um, talk about like are you still on BeatStars? Do you sell directly or like what's really like, I know every producer has their own way of wanting to make money, so how do you do it per se?
Yeah, I'm still on BeatStars. That's the platform, the main platform. I use the YouTube to BeatStars funnel. Um, Lately, I've been getting more sales on the marketplace itself, which is pretty foreign to a lot of, I guess, most people who are successful on BeatStars or that I know of. A lot of
Hmm.
people, most of the time, I always hear and from experience, that like you don't just throw your beats on BeatStars and sales start happening. No, you like gotta bring people back to your beat
Yeah.
store, and so that's been my experience for the I guess 5 6 years I've been on there. But lately, I've been getting more sales through the marketplace, and then um, well, the social media platforms, IG, TikTok. People who find me on there, they'll hit the link in bio, and it takes them directly to my pro page on BeatStars. And but yeah, the BeatStars is the main place where I sell. Locally, there's people who find me here. Like sometimes I'll play shows. I'll do like beat sets, and that's where that strategy comes in. Where you like, you meet them out in the real world, and then you just bring them back to your BeatStars page and make the sale happen like that.
There's a lot of things I want to talk about, but you really caught my attention with the beat set. How do you end up like performing? Like, are you just making the beats, or you like what's that like?
Well, I just play the beats that I've made before. I just choose my favorite like beats that like I gotta know the crowd that I'm gonna be performing in front of, and so I've gotten invites from the local shows that happen here. Um, a lot of producer showcases that happen here. Those are pretty cool. Um, so I'll just choose like some of my most popular beats that are popular online, and I'll just put them in my MPC and then just press play. Press play, let it do what it does, and I've always gotten a sale from every single beat set I've done. I don't like doing the shows, to be honest. I really don't like doing them, because I just want to stay home and make beats, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to chill at home, my wife, my dog, and like just make beats here at home. But it's beneficial for me to step out sometimes. The sale doesn't happen right then and there, but it's always someone who catches, like, I always catch someone who's like, as soon as I get off stage, they're like, "Oh, what's up, man? Gotta get some beats off of you." The sale might not happen right then and there, but it always does happen from someone that I met at the show. So that's pretty cool, man.
So, I mean, if you could go back like 5 years from when you really like took things off from BeatStars, what would you do differently to give you more of a head start that you learn now?
I would have started the YouTube channel a lot sooner. I would have started it right then and there, like, cause it
Uh-huh.
took me a while. I was like, no, I don't want to, or I don't know what it was. I think I don't know why I didn't start the YouTube channel earlier. I just and then once I did, that made a world of difference. Like that's when I understood, like, cause I always heard about it, but it wasn't until like I actually saw it for myself, like that is like the main source where people actually go and search up for beats. Like,
Is there like a specific formula you have for your YouTube?
uh, just upload consistently, man. I've been
Okay.
I use keywords.
Mm.
For me, what's working for me is throwing up stuff like I really like a bunch of different things, so it's a little bit hard for me to like find success in YouTube. But what's working for me is like tagging it correctly. Like I'll put up something like Conductor Williams um or Earl Sweatshirt type beats. It's not doesn't mean that I'm making a one for one Conductor Williams type of beat or an Earl Sweatshirt type of beat, but obviously I'm in like the in the framework of people who are searching for that kind of specific feeling or that kind of sound. I'll just feed them that. It all has to do with like the well, first you got to figure out what you like, what you love. You don't want to be like putting up stuff. You don't want to be making or get caught in that circle of like making things that you're like, oh, I know Drake beats sell, but if you don't like listen to Drake and you don't like Drake, then you're gonna hate it, So you gotta like, for me, that's what works for me. I like Earl Sweatshirt. I like Conductor Williams production. The grimier boom bap stuff. So within that wheelhouse, you know, figuring out the keywords that work for you. That's what works for me. And the thumbnail, man, you gotta have a good thumbnail because if your thumbnail doesn't look good, then no one's gonna click on it anyways.
So then talk about that process because I've always like considered thumbnails because sometimes the thumbnail is what makes me click and I think that's what makes most people click. So like is
Yeah.
there like a specific process for you or do you just using your judgment like strictly just your judgment or like how does that work?
Yeah, just hey, if I like the picture, I think it looks cool. I'll use it.
Okay, that's simple.
Yeah.
So where do your beat tapes come into play? I know you mentioned that earlier. So like how do they come into the fold with BeatStars and YouTube and all that stuff?
So this is, I guess, what people consider controversial, but like me, like I mentioned, I like casting my net out as wide as possible. So I'll be making beats and I'll upload them to BeatStars, YouTube, and if they sell, that's great. If they don't, doesn't matter anyways because I'm still gonna grab those same beats and I'm gonna mix them in a way to put them up in a beat tape, and I'll drop like a little project of some of my favorite beats that I made that year. And yeah, I I was dropping beat tapes a long time ago, like when I initially started, but I kind of like fell off of that ship for a while. But like now, like last year, I really started hitting it better. I dropped the tape last year, dropped another one this year. I'm actually working on another one, so I'll probably be dropping like two more this year.
Nice.
But trying to get back on that wave of really putting out projects. So that way I can, either capitalize off of the sale or the tape itself.
Hmm.
Like I
So,
said, casting my net out as wide as possible.
in what ways are you like capitalizing? Is it just DSPs or Bandcamp? Like, where are you releasing them?
Yeah,
Exactly?
everything.
Oh, okay.
DSPs, Bandcamp.
Real quick, I want to take a brief pause from the episode to share something that can genuinely help you if you're a producer. Most producers spend hours scrolling through Spotify or Instagram trying to find artists that match their sound. The problem is that most of the time, you're searching blindly and hoping you come across the right fit. That's where Producer Fury comes in. Producer Fury's Finder tool helps you discover artists in your specific niche based on how they sound. You can also filter artists by Spotify monthly listeners and Instagram followers, making it easy to find artists that fit the exact stage of growth you're looking to work with. Check out Producer Fury for yourself. Click the link in the description and use promo code ESTE407 to get 20% off your membership. Now back to the episode.
Making physical copies as well.
Nice. That's sick.
New one I just dropped. Bandcamp, DSPs, physicals, just everything. I try not to leave anything on the on the table.
Nice. So now that I didn't know you like actually sold physical like tapes. So how does that work, and how well is that? Does that do just as well as like selling the digital copies on Bandcamp, or like what's the process for you and what's that
For
like?
me, the physical copies sell more.
What? Okay.
Than the digital, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how does that work? Do you have like a back end, like you're sending out emails, or is it just word of mouth? Like what's your strategy?
Yeah, word of mouth works for me.
Really? Nice.
Just I know a bunch of friends and people who like music and stuff. A lot of music collectors. Anytime I drop something, I'll just put a video up on the social media platforms, and they'll just cop it from there. Or if they see me in person, if I go to a show, I always have a couple CDs or whatever on me, and just sell from there.
Nice. No, that's like probably the hardest part, to get supporters to buy physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially now things are like commoditized digitally. I think DSP's like ruined it for artists. You can't even make money. You're making like pennies on the dollar, or for producers too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, what do you want to do now? Like what's kind of like the next steps for you? Is there like anything you're trying to envision, or any goals that you have?
No, nothing new. Just stay the course, just continue producing. I mean, I would like bigger placements, and
Okay.
I have a feeling, man, like I feel like I'm getting very close to like some of my, not my dream placements, but like I'm getting like I feel like I'm inching my way towards there. But as far as like new goals or anything, I'll just keep dropping, try and outdo myself from the last beat. Try and make a beat better than the last one I made. Just always trying to level up my own sound, my own craft.
Yeah.
Just personal goals I have is to hit 600 beats on BeatStars, and I'm like
Nice.
or not halfway there, but I have like 50 more beats to go, which I'll
Nice.
probably hit before the end of the year.
So, I mean, talk about that. We talked about the things that are working out for you. So, like, what placements would you like? And then also, like, what's the process like for you in order to try to get the placements that you want?
Shit. I would like Rome Streets. Rome
Nice.
Streets placement would be great. West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher, and Conway. All those guys. Excuse me. Yeah, man, all of those guys would like to work with them. How I figure I can go about it, or let's just keep putting out dope shit. I want to be undeniable, man.
Yeah.
Recently this year, I've been getting people tagging them in my stuff a lot. So, Vinny Paz from Jedi Mind Tricks actually messaged me
Ooh,
last
that's
year,
sick.
like at the very end of last year, and he just like DM'd me. I woke up to that DM, and he's like, "Yo, man, your beats are gas." And will that ever amount to anything? Probably not. But like that cosign right there was all I needed. I'm still kind of high off of that, man. Like so that means I know people are seeing me. I know these bigger people. I'm showing up on their algorithms, on their feed. So I mean, it's only a matter of time before I feel like that'll happen. So
No, that's sick. No, Vinny is a legend. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I can already tell what your sound is just from like the Griselda lineup, and a lot of people don't know Rome was it Rome Streets? He's pretty low key. But so where do you kind of go from that? Because you have the eyes on you. Is there any plans for you to like take it anywhere else, or you just want to keep it as natural as possible, be consistent, and have them reach out to you?
I mean, I guess it's all situational. There's yeah. So there was an artist I found in 2020 that had like. So I found this artist in 2020, and I thought he was super fucking dope. And he had like I think like 200 monthly listeners, but like every time I would check back, it was just growing exponentially,
Mm,
right? And I had reached out to him prematurely because I say prematurely because looking back, I knew my beats weren't that great, but I knew I wanted to work with him, and I knew we would do well. So um, nothing amounted from that. But then last year, I kept posting up stuff, and last year he actually reached out to me. It was like, "Yo, man, what's good? Like, this shit's crazy." And so yeah, just keep things natural. Sorry, my dog's like, "Yo, I need to go
you're good.
outside."
Yeah,
Um,
my dog's bugging too.
so yeah, just keep things natural. Hopefully, I land on one of their pages, or they find me, and like I said, I just try and be undeniable to where you can't deny what I have. And so, but if it never happens, I'm not even gonna be worried about it, man, because I'm
Mm,
just gonna keep doing whether I made money from this or I made any placements or not. It doesn't matter because I was just gonna do the music anyways, man.
yeah. I think that's the most important like part. Like a lot of times, and you mentioned it earlier, especially with the YouTube. If you're just so focused on the algorithm and you're just trying to make beats that you know are gonna make money, you're gonna hate it eventually. I talked to a producer who said the same exact thing. He said he quit it because he just hated it and he just went back to just making beats for fun. And I think at the end of the day, like if you have that mindset, like whether I do make money or whether I don't make money, I'm gonna be doing this. And I think what a lot of producers don't realize is the money comes last. That never usually never ever comes first, and that's just life in general. Like you know what I mean? So what people forget is like at the end of the day, I mean the passion is what drives you, and then that is what's going to lead to the opportunities. But I do want to explore more down that path because you did mention like you kind of ran into this guy who only had 200 monthly listeners on Spotify. Do you usually like keep an eye out for like fresh talent, and do you reach out to them, and or what's that like for you?
Yeah, I definitely don't do that anymore. I
Okay.
definitely don't like look for artists anymore because um and I don't want this to come off like full of myself or with my chin up in the air, but like I think I've already put myself or I've gotten to a point where I don't need to do that anymore, like look for artists and reach out and stuff like that. Like I think I'm at a point where now where like I know where I'm at, and you know yeah, I'm not really. To be honest, I don't even really listen to music anymore, man.
Really?
Yeah, man, I'm so music
What?
out. Like, 'cause I'm too busy making it. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense, but like, even on the car, like, even in the vehicle, man, I don't even have music on. I'm just driving in complete silence. Which is crazy because a lot of other producers told me the same thing, man. They're like, "What? I thought I was the only one that did that." I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't even listen to music." So, you know what? I actually do listen to music when I'm sampling, but
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not really looking out for anybody new anymore, man. I got my circle that I work with, and then someone else wants to jump on or jump on the beats, and they know where to go, man. The beat store's there.
Nice. No, that's funny. I totally agree, especially when you're basically listening to music all day because you're producing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's not including all the samples that you listen to before they become the samples. Walk me through that process. I know I have some producers like ask me, like in my community, like should I even sample? Like, is it even worth it? So, have you ever ran into any issues as far as like artists hopping on your beats and the samples being cleared or anything like that?
No, I mean, I really try and well, no, I haven't ran into any issues, but I know that's at least not yet. On my own channel, I have gotten like, hey, you know what, this is a copyright. It's not a strike, so it doesn't affect my channel. It just means that I can't monetize it. So nothing like big trouble like that. And besides, as far as the artists go, I always state if I'm using a sample in the BeatStars contract when I'm uploading the beats, it'll ask you there like, hey, does this have any samples or loops? And I always put the information, leave it up to the artist whether or not they want to make that purchase or not. Um, so yeah, I really try and go for like royalty free stuff or tracklib was is good. However, lately I've just been finding some really good stuff that I'm like, man, there's no way I can't flip this, you know? And
Yeah.
I'll even go as far as like doing my own research, like go to the websites where you can check if something's been sampled or not. And if it hasn't been sampled, then yeah, I'm gonna use it.
That isn't that rare though, because I've had issues where like I thought I tried to do the same thing and I find like a million songs that sampled it before I sampled it. I just like never knew or never heard of these songs. Or is that not like a reoccurring issue for you?
Sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'm this is my bread and butter, so like I'm digging really high and low, man. I'm going for really some rare stuff. I got a couple guys. Probably shouldn't even be saying this, but I got a couple guys. One of them's in Russia, and the other one I think is in the Netherlands. And I pay them a pretty penny monthly to hold some stuff for me. They kind of know what I'm looking for and what I like.
Really?
So yeah, they, yeah,
I
they
think
they help me
that's
help me
the
out.
first time I ever heard like people pay other people in other countries to find vinyls for you, to find like
Yeah,
music for you.
they'll rip them for me and send me the
What?
files. Yeah, so
No, that's a new method. I mean, I know of. That's a cool method. And you trust their ear? Like how good is their ear, or is
but
it
yeah,
like
no, I
really
pay them. I pay them.
what?
I pay them
No, that's
monthly. Yeah,
insane. And they rip it and like put it on an MP3 and they give it to you.
nah, waves, baby.
Oh wait,
Gotta
okay,
have the
okay,
waves.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
crazy. I don't think I ever heard of that. Do you see yourself like ever producing outside of samples if you don't already? I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
no, I do make my
Okay.
own stuff sometimes too, but I mean, I just love sampling.
Yeah,
I
same.
have the ability to do it. I do that sometimes, make my own melodies and even make my own samples, but my heart's in sampling, man. I was actually telling my wife not that long ago that I'm very jealous of her because she like paints and she does crafts and stuff, but she gets to listen to music while she does that. And I'm like, I'm so jealous of you all because you get to listen to music while you do the things that you love. And me, I can't do that. I can't listen to music while I'm trying to make it. So I think
Mm.
that's where like sampling scratches that itch for me. I get to listen to
Mm-hmm.
music while or listen a little bit of music while I sample it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do make my own stuff sometimes. It's just not where my heart. I love sampling, man. It's just so good, especially
No.
being able to flip it and make it unrecognizable.
Mm. I think it's one of those things that I mean I don't think it'll ever die, but there'll always be like a subculture for that too. I feel that's what it's turned into as well. Like just the beats itself, like the boom bap beats itself, I feel like it's its own subculture. It was hip hop, but now it's like it's its own thing. Especially when you have people like Knowledge and Mind Design, when you have people like in the community like that, I don't think it'll really ever die. Oh, I know you mentioned like upselling and you mentioned a couple other words. I was just curious, like, did you have any like sales background when it came to like selling beats, or is this just stuff you learned like as you went?
Um, don't no, I don't really think I have a sales background. Well, so in middle school, like,
Yeah.
I mean, like once I got to middle school, like they always had like these snack bars and like you know we didn't grow up rich or anything. Like I mean, I wasn't given money to buy from the snack bar at school. So what I was doing was selling like drawings and selling graffiti pieces
Nice.
just so I can like go get those extra chicken strips or whatever at
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
So I mean I think that's where it comes from. Not I don't. It was out of like necessity, I guess. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
want that. And let me. Well, how do I get it? I can't. I'm not. I wasn't gonna steal. My parents didn't have money to give me, so I'm like, well, what can I do? I'm like, you know what? Let me take this pen, this paper, let me draw something dope and sell it. And So I guess, I mean, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah,
It
that's where
does.
that
It
came
does.
from. I mean, so I just used that. Like I was like, okay, what are the raw materials I have in front of me? What can I do with them, and how can I sell this? You know?
It does say a lot because it automatically I can tell like what kind of person you are. Like you know what I'm saying? Like some I don't know how to explain it. Some people are born with it and some people learn it or some people just never get it, you know? So I
Yeah.
mean, especially when it comes to producing and being an artist because let's be honest, for there's really no like money in the music industry if you don't create it yourself or if you're not on a huge platform, especially for artists. But since we're more so talking about producers, it's the same difference, but you kind of have to, especially starting off small, create it for like yourself, you know. So, I mean, what do you think? That's just something most people are born with, and if you don't have it, it's not something you can learn, or is that something you kind of like learned yourself, or you were just born with it? How was it for you?
I don't know. I'm not really sure how to gauge that. I never really even gave it any thought. I was just like, hey, I gotta do it, you know.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I was born with it, or maybe I just developed it out of necessity. So, not really sure. Maybe I was born with it. I would like to think that I was born with it,
yeah.
but maybe I wasn't, and I had to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know my dad had started some businesses before, and
Okay.
so maybe that's where I got it
Yeah.
from. Yeah,
100%, 100%. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think one, being born with it, and then two, being in the environment that forces it out. You know what I'm saying? Some people are born with talents, but because of their environment, it never truly comes out of them. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah,
for you in particular, like, you know, especially when you're a kid, you do things like unintentionally. You know, it's like, hey, I want to do this because I want that, but I'm not doing it because I want to create like monetization and I want, you know what I'm saying, a business. It's kind of like A and B, you know. And then as you become an adult, it gets a little bit more complicated because you have car, a house, family.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so kind of like you know, when is your next mixtape coming out? And like you know, I know you mentioned you might drop two this year. What kind of stops you from dropping a little bit more often?
Um, just the focus. It's not like or I'm not saying it's not a priority. It's just I just really love the process of making the beats, man. So then, like, let me give you an example. Um, I have all of these right here. All of those are on the one side, and then this other side are all a bunch of like beats that are somewhat. So a lot of them are finished, and some are unfinished. But I just need to go back down that list and like I guess I need to narrow it down to like make it a consumable product. So there's that, but like every day I wake up, I'm like I just want to make something new. Like so that I actually just I guess what's really stopping me is that I just need to set some time to like not create anymore and just focus on like cuz like if I wanted to, I can drop both of them right now. But that would require me to like actually sit down, take the day out and like they're already finished. So the beats are already finished. I just need to like arrange them and get them to where they're all fluid and then do the artwork for it and stuff like that. But, so yeah, I just need to buckle down, I guess. But I'm just so if I just love the creation process. So I'll just be creating, 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 and then like it won't be it would be forever until I like stop and I look and I'm like, oh, okay, shit, I have all these. Let me put something out, man. You know, so that's pretty much what's stopping me. I just need to do it.
I feel like a lot of like people who make music, they have like ADHD, and it's always something. Damn, what's the? I forgot. It's called something something syndrome. Like it's like I don't know, it's golden goose syndrome or something. Like you see something shiny or whatever it is. Like you know what I'm saying. You want to do it, and then you see something new. I want to do this, and you see something, and it's kind of like you're chasing all these new things, you know. And I think for most people, that's probably like the hardest part, especially creative people, is there's always more to create, but there's always the painting or music or whatever it is right in front of you. Like you know, I think that's the most important thing is the one in front of you, not the new one you want to create. And then I guess it's more so the chase is what people like, especially if you hear a sample, you're like, oh, I need to do something to this, like, or you, yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like an infinite amount of options for people, and sometimes like too many options isn't good, ironically.
Yeah.
Um, But is that how is your creative process? You know, are you listening to all of the samples that are thrown to you or given to you from your people that help find it, or like do you just lock in and make a drum pattern first and then find a sample that suits it? Like, what's that process like?
It's never really the same, to be
Mm,
honest. Because I mean, yeah, I have the homies that those two guys that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, they help me out a lot, but not everything that they send me is something that I use. So I'm digging by myself as well. I got a bunch of records. Actually, got a stack of records I need to go through as well. Um, Curated my YouTube algorithm to find stuff as well.
yeah.
Spotify, and then yeah, I sometimes I start with a sample, sometimes I start with drums. It's never really. I don't like you know, to pigeonhole. Is that the right word? Pigeonhole
Hmm.
myself to
Yeah.
like one process. Just whatever I'm feeling that day. Or like I said, I also make some of my own stuff too. Sometimes I'll just start with a bass line. Not really the same. Lately, it has been sample first, but yeah, it's never the same. It doesn't stay the same for too long.
What's the collaboration like? Do you usually collaborate with other producers?
No,
Is there like
no.
is there a reason? If you don't mind me asking.
Um, yeah, I mean, because I don't need to. I don't
Okay.
know that like I don't.
Hmm.
I have. I'm not saying I haven't, but you know, I don't really do. Like I don't need to. If I am struggling with something, I know there are producers that I can reach out to that'll help me out with something. But yeah, I don't really need to.
I hear that. Yeah, I mean that's true. A lot of producers they like to collab to grow, especially if other producers have like platforms. So like I kind of get if you don't need to do it. But awesome, man. I mean, I think that's it. I think that's all the questions that I have. Is there actually before we go, one last question? What's one advice you would give to a producer who was exactly where you were at in 2004 when they were starting off trying to hit the ground running? Before we go, what would that be?
It's a good question, and I thought about that a lot.
Yeah.
And my answer is don't ever stop. Because I stopped for a
Mm,
while, or not. I
yeah.
didn't like stop, but I did take a little hiatus. And most of it, if not all of it, was because I didn't believe in myself. And I know there's that story that everyone has, the success story that everyone has, where they're like, no one believed in me, blah 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 blah. But you know what? I didn't have that. I had the greatest support system from my family and my friends. Everyone told me I got it, and it was just me. I didn't believe in myself until I started believing in myself, and I just never stop, man. That's the best advice I can give someone. If you love it, never stop. If you love it, don't ever stop. So yeah, that's the best advice I can give.
Sweet, man. Tell them where they can find you, all socials, all platforms.
All social media platforms is gonna be the same handle at DIEMOND Diamond DTX. You can find me on Bandcamp as well, same Diemond Deryk. The handle's gonna be the same Diamond DTX. YouTube the same Diamond DTX, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet. Awesome, man. Thanks for hopping
BeatStars
on.
as well, man. Of course, BeatStars. Hit up my BeatStars. Diamond Deryk, and yeah, we're good.
Copy that. Okay. All right. Thanks for hopping on, Derek. I
Hey,
appreciate it, bro.
thank you for having me, man. Peace.
Peace. That's it for today's episode of Producer Talk. If you got value from the conversation, be sure to subscribe and follow the podcast for more interviews with producers who are building real careers in the music industry. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.